Let's begin the 2020 Transportation Hall of Fame inductions. First is recent King County General Manager Rob Gannon. Rob recently stepped down as General Manager, and we want to thank him for his 4 years of service. In his tenure, Rob created an equity cabinet and mobility framework to ensure our transit system is centering the needs of communities of color, low-income communities, and people with disabilities. Rob made Metro a nationally recognized transit agency. He is a great partner to TCC and will miss his leadership. Next is Community Transit CEO Emmett Heath. He is retiring after 15 years at Community Transit. Emmett focused his work around community-oriented transit service, connecting people to opportunities in Snohomish County, and creating a long-term vision of transit expansion. He built up the Swift Bus Rapid Transit, and throughout the pandemic, he centered essential travel for those who need it most. Emmett is a great partner to TCC and will miss his leadership. A message from Emmett.
I'm really proud to have had a long and successful 40-plus year career in public transit. I think the thing that's kept me in the business is that people are always going to want to get from where they are to where they want to be. And those places they want to be are important places in their life. And public transportation has always played an important role in making it easier for people to get to those important places. It contributes to their quality of life. And I feel good about having had the opportunity to play a role in that. It is a fabulous honor to be inducted into the TCC's Hall of Fame. I want to thank the TCC for inducting me to the Hall of Fame. I want to thank them for years of partnership with Community Transit and advocacy for the industry. How I feel is immensely honored to be included with a group of colleagues who I have seen inducted in previous years. I've been to a number of previous annual galas. I've seen a number of folks inducted, and to think that my years of service are acknowledged in the same vein as those who have come before me in the Hall of Fame it's a career honor. I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Next is the Small Urban, Rural, and Tribal Center on Mobility. SURTCOM is a U.S. Department of Transportation Tier 1 University Transportation Center that combines work at Montana State University, North Dakota State University, and Eastern Washington University. SURTCOM shares TCC's vision of making mobility options accessible to all, and plays a critical role in focusing on the mobility needs of tribal communities and rural communities in Eastern Washington and beyond. SURTCOM conducts research and education around tribal and rural transportation, focusing on the specific mobility needs of each community. We learned about SURTCOM's work through our relationships with tribal transportation organizations such as the Nakanee Native Program, the Affiliated Tribes of Northwest Indians Conference, and during our recent transit chat on tribal transportation. Thank you for your dedication to mobility access and equity for all. Finally, we welcome the Alliance for a Just Society. Their mission is to execute local, state, and national campaigns and build strong state affiliate organizations and partnerships that address economic, racial, and social inequities. Their campaign to save public transit helped establish the common understanding that transit is essential, and it is an essential part of any congressional COVID relief package. A message from Leanne.
I've been honored to work with all of you on the emergency campaign for transit justice. The COVID-19 pandemic and the economic and social catastrophe that has followed revealed the economic and racial inequities in our society. The public transit crisis comes on top of the historic disinvestment in our public institutions and resources. The way forward is a national public reconstruction project. Many of you are fighting for fully funded transit, ensuring that it is accessible to all our neighborhoods. We need to continue to fight for public transit because it is the lifeblood of an ecologically sound economy, and it is at the core of creating racial equity in our communities. It is, as Jermaine Alberto Gooding said at the National Rally to Save Public Transit, To me, transit has always been about access and exposure. Who gets to have access to our cities? Who gets to be exposed to different neighborhoods and opportunities? This is why, from Plessy versus Ferguson to the Montgomery bus boycott till today, public transit is a racial justice issue. Our transportation systems play a key role in creating a racially just, economically and ecologically sound reconstruction. Let's keep the pressure on and ensure a public transit system that works for all of us.